Hello students. So today we are back with inside the atom, what all things are there. Many scientists have worked in this field. So in earlier class we have seen how is Dalton's atomic theory, then Thomson's plum pudding model of atom also in earlier class we have seen. Today we are going to move on further to Rutherford's nuclear model of atom. Rutherford's nuclear model of atom, which was invented by great scientist Rutherford in the year 1911. He studied the inside of atom by his celebrated scattering experiment and put forth the nuclear model of atom in the year 1911. So his scattering experiment is very famous. In this experiment, exactly what he did, that we are going to try to understand. Rutherford actually took a thin foil of gold. This is the gold foil he has taken. Okay. And bombarded it with positively charged alpha particles which were emitted by a radioactive element. From this source, he put down the radioactive element alpha particles he emitted, and it were allowed to fall on this golden foil. He observed the path in which the alpha particles, by means of fluorescent screen, you can see the fluorescent screen, this semicircular shape, that way, and how the light was scattered. It was expected actually that the alpha particles would get reflected from the gold foil if the positively charged mass were evenly distributed. If like Thomson's model, positively charged was completely evenly distributed all over the atom, what was expected that inside the atom, in that case, there will be regular reflection. But unexpectedly, what happened? Most of the alpha particles went straight through the foil. You can see, they went straight through the foil. And a small number of alpha particles get deflected from the original path. You can see some deflected here, some went there. Okay, they went in other direction, and a still smaller of alpha particle, they get deflected through a large angle, and surprisingly one alpha particle out of the 20,000 bounce back. This is bouncing back, you can see here. Okay, in the direction opposite to the original path. What was the original path? It is coming straight from the alpha particle emitter. It should have gone straight. So very few went there. Some got scattered in some other direction, and very few got reflected back. They bounced back in the fluorescent screen. That is the scintillum. Okay. So a large number of alpha particles that went straight through the foil indicated that there was no obstacle in their path. That's why they went straight backside of the fluorescent screen. It means that there must be mainly an empty space inside the atom. There is somewhere an empty space inside the atom in the solid gold foil. The small number of alpha particles that get deflected through a small or a big angle must have faced an obstacle. When there is obstacle, then only they got deflected in laws of reflection, we all have studied in smaller classes. If the surface is not smooth and having a lot of obstacle, in that case, reflection went in haphazard way, in a very distracted way. So there were obstacles in the way, so they got deflected in various directions. It means that the positively charged and heavy part causing obstruction could be in the center of the atom, and from this Rutherford put forward a nuclear model of atom, and according to his atom, the main thing, concentration was at the center. That became the nucleus of the atom, and some particles which were revolving around this positively charged nucleus were the negatively charged particles, and there were spaces in between that allowed straight passage of alpha particles, and only this central concentrated part were helping in deflecting the rays coming from the alpha particle emitter. So according to Rutherford, finally, this was the nuclear model of Rutherford. And what were his postulates? Let us try to understand. According to Rutherford, there is a positively charged nucleus at the center of the atom. So here there is positively charged nucleus at the center of the atom. Okay. Then second thing that he postulated was almost the entire mass of the atom is concentrated. Mass, you know, maximum mass is concentrated where? At the nucleus only. Okay. Then third thing he postulated was negatively charged particles called electrons, these small ones, electrons. How are they? Negatively charged. Okay, they are moving around the nucleus. So the total negative charge on all the electrons is equal. If we add these, all the negative charges were equal to this positive charge which is inside the nucleus. So positive charge in the atom is always equal to negative charge in the atom. Positive charge is concentrated at the nucleus, and outside negatively charged particle electrons are moving, and the total of these negative charge is coming equal to the positive charge of the nucleus that is present in the nucleus. As the opposite charges are balanced, the atom will be electrically neutral. Electrically, this atom is going to be neutral. Why? Because the positive charge in the nucleus and negative charge around the nucleus is equal. Okay. So the atom as a whole is going to be neutral. Okay. And there is an empty space between the revolving electrons. You can see this between space between these electrons is blank. There is nothing. In that case, there will be no obstruction and no scattering. Simply the rays can bypass. But if they fall on the nucleus, they are going to get scattered. Okay. This complete 5 postulates were given forward by Rutherford with the help of this scattering experiment, where all things he has used is an alpha optical emitter, then this fluorescent screen with a slit over there, and when the rays, alpha particles were allowed to fall on this golden foil, it was observed that some went straight, some got scattered, and some even bounced back. But according to Thomson, if we would have gone, in that case, all the rays should have been going in opposite direction straight away. Because according to Thomson, all the positive charges equally distributed in the atom. But it was wrong according to Rutherford. Rutherford postulated that the positive charge is only at the center of the atom and negatively charged electrons are moving with blank spaces around this nucleus. And therefore, with the help of this scattering experiment, Rutherford could prove that his postulates were correct. Okay. Then Rutherford's atomic model were much superior and could prove its truth rather than Dalton's and Thomson's atomic model. So Rutherford's model was accepted all around and established law of physics. An electrically charged body is revolving in a circular orbit. Its energy decreases. According to this law, the atom described in Rutherford's model turns out to be unstable because the positively charged is only at the center and negative charges are moving around. In reality, however, all atoms except the radioactive atoms are stable. Maximum atoms in nature are stable. They are not themselves going forward to react with someone because they are stable themselves. This shortcoming of Rutherford's model was then removed by the next coming up scientist whose name was Niels Bohr. Niels Bohr in the year 1913 could properly explain further Rutherford's model, and the shortcoming in Rutherford's model that could not explain the stability or instability of an atom was ruled out by Niels Bohr's model. Now, Niels Bohr's model, which came forward in 1913, explained the stability of the atom by putting forth stable orbit atomic model. The important postulates of Niels Bohr's model are the electrons revolving round the atomic nucleus lie in the concentric circular orbits at certain distances from the nucleus. So again, you can see that this Rutherford's model were corrected by Niels Bohr. The nucleus is at the center and the electrons negatively charged are moving around the nucleus in concentric circles, orbits, or this shell K, L, M, N. That way he named these shells in which the electrons are moving, and the electrons also he told that proper amount only can be accommodated. This first K shell can accommodate only 2 electrons. Then second L shell can have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 electrons in them. And then consecutively M and N shells also could have proper number of electrons can be accommodated there. So the electrons revolving around the atomic nucleus lie in the concentric circular orbits at certain distance from the nucleus. Okay, and then energy of an electron is constant while it is in a particular orbit. So K shell energy will be particular because only 2 electrons can accommodate there, not more than 2. Then when an electron jumps from an inner orbit to an outer orbit, it absorbs energy equal to the difference of its energy level, and when it jumps from an outer orbit to an inner orbit, it emits energy equal to the difference of its energy level. So these points Niels Bohr could explain with the help of his nuclear atomic model, but it was stable. Okay, some more atomic models were again put forward by Bohr. Then atomic structure was studied at depth with the advent of new branch of science which was called as quantum physics. Quantum mechanics was the topic, and he studied much more detailed part of the atom with all those some well accepted fundamental principles of atomic structure that he gave forward were as follows. Atomic structure is formed from nucleus and the extra nuclear part. These contain 3 types of subatomic particles. So inside an atom, there are 3 particles: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus. Protons are positively charged. Neutrons do not have any charge. They are neutral. And electrons have negative charge upon them. Protons and neutrons are in the nucleus. And electrons are only revolving around in proper orbits or shells around the nucleus. Okay, then extra nuclear part is also there. The extra nuclear part is the atomic structure including electrons revolving around the nucleus and the empty space in between. Okay, can you see this figure? So nucleus, protons, neutrons having, and electrons moving around in proper orbits. These electrons are negatively charged, and that was the perfect model given by Niels Bohr. Now, how to calculate the number of positive charge and electrons that are negatively charged in the atomic model, that we shall learn in our next class. But before that, you should draw this scattering experiment diagram of Rutherford in your copy and atomic model given by Niels Bohr also. Okay, so bye all of you. Enough for the day. Thank you.